be honest with yourselves. You're not going anywhere this year, so start trying to make plans to figure out what you do got.
We went around the AFC North. Bob Haney, Mo Egger, Chris Muller, all part of Around the AFC North. And all three guys, either last week, that was Mo Egger. He said he would have started him against the Ravens. And then the two others said they'd start him against Green Bay. All right, 216-474-0092. Are we wasting our time? Should we just start Dillon Gabriel now? I think it's... I wish I would have hosting a segment with each one of the three. I would have called them all irresponsible. Wow, you're agreeing with me.
Okay.
We're with each other too much. You either got to take a day off or I got to take a day off. You got to recalibrate yourself. Or I have actually, ladies and gentlemen, I have taught Lima football.
Ooh, you think you're rubbing off on me, the football guy?
No, he said enough stupid stuff over the last 2 weeks that you have not taught him.
But that's a very
absolutely not.
Not rushing a quarterback out there that isn't ready is a very, very, very important thing. He knows the important thing of it. The other stuff about this is an entertaining, I'm bored.
Well,
that
so
sounds
you
stupid.
and Lima and Cody Kessler, you're all on the same page.
Owen,
then.
you think it was stupid that I thought the NFL should retroactively?
That's what Cody Kessler said.
You thought it was stupid that I said the NFL should retroactively give the win to the Broncos like the next day? You thought that was
silly.
You thought that was dumb?
I think a lot of things you say are dumb, Anthony.
It's the NFL. It's not daddy ball. Well, we'll find out at 8:45.
So, Kenny, here's the one thing I will say to then divide us, since we agree on it, about why we think it would be irresponsible.
Divide and then Owen conquers.
If this situation were happening in any other market, I would be saying, why is that team starting Joe Flacco and not a guy they drafted? I would probably say that.
From the outset, right? He didn't lose you week one, right. Joe Flacco, right? But he couldn't win week two. He didn't do anything that goes and wins the game for you in week two.
I had a guy arguing with me, and no disrespect to the guy, but I was like, no, he's not coming in and winning you this game.
Okay.
Dillon Gabriel's not winning you that game against the Baltimore. Right. He ain't winning against the Green Bay Packers.
Of course not. The game would probably have been over in the second quarter.
But I think
if Gabriel were to start.
Everybody's saying is that he ain't winning any games anyway, so you might as well play him.
So I'll hear that argument. I heard Jake last night. He came back on the air. I don't think he had been there in a while. So he's like, hey, since I've talked to you last,
yes,
we've lost 2 games. He said, I've seen enough of Joe Flacco. Let's go. Let's move on. And I'm listening to him going, but what if the games were flipped? What if the Ravens game would have been the first week and the Bengals game would have been week 2? What would we be saying then? Is that all it was? Was that the Ravens game was the second game and it was more recent?
I'm following you. Yeah.
Now, unless you're saying the Ravens put together a game plan because they saw Joe Flacco's limitations in the opener, and now all the teams are going to copy that.
I just think they see the offense's limitations to begin with. I don't know if it's even Joe Flacco's limitations. Again, you got a better defense that you're playing against in Baltimore. The Bengals defense is not good.
What did the offense do on Sunday that was good? Was there anything?
Outside of garbage time?
Yeah.
No, not much.
I mean,
who's did who now?
The Browns offense, what did they do that was good on Sunday?
Nothing.
Maybe Quinshon Judkins. Maybe you can say that, but was it blocked correctly? I don't know.
We had a 30-yard run. That was half of the 61. Which, hey, I'll take a 30-yard run anytime. So
but the game was over. It was the backups.
We're reaching. So yeah, and I just want to throw Dillon Gabriel out there. This is what I hate. See, this is again. It's Owen knows it. Well, wait a minute. Do you just want to play Dillon Gabriel this week? Be a football guy. Don't be a host.
I mean, when you're looking at the schedule, I don't think you feed anybody to the Wolves.
But guys, I did say yesterday, if that game
the Wolves are here, guys.
If that game is one-sided at halftime, that's it. That's it. It's Dillon Gabriel, and he's got the team all week, right?
The guy you're feeding to the Wolves.
What do you think percentage chance is that it's going to be one-sided at halftime, Anthony?
50-50. No, you know what?
I do trust our defense.
Okay.
And they don't have their receivers.
They got injuries. I bet it's going to be some like 10-3 at half. Like something like that again.
Then you got to play Joe then.
Yeah. Like you said,
if you think it's going to be, 17-3 at half, you might as well just play Dillon Gabriel.
The term feeding to the Wolves, you're feeding a guy to the Wolves right now. It's Joe.
Right, but he at least knows how to defend himself against Wolves.
Exactly.
I don't know that Dillon Gabriel has ever even seen
I don't know
Wolves.
either. Like, we're starting to walk ourselves into the same situation that we did, and we did this with Deshaun freaking Kaiser. Well, he's the best guy on the roster, so that means he's the most ready. The timeline is not Joe's timeline. So I know that Joe looked old and decrepit on Sunday. It's not Joe's timeline. It's Dillon's timeline. Like, guys, they know that they know they ain't going anywhere. So eventually, like, if they decide today that they're going to start Dillon Gabriel, I'm going to be very surprised, but I'm going to be very nervous because I want them to start Dillon Gabriel because they believe that he has a chance to at least move the offense. I can't even say win. They believe he has a chance to move the offense and that he is comfortable and confident enough to go now within their offense, within what they want to run. All those things, like there's plenty of guys who are confident in themselves and they go out there and they suck up the room. You got to trust them to be able to run your offense. And so if they believe that, I would say, well, where was it week 1? I mean, the difference of 2 weeks, maybe there is that big of a difference in 2 weeks. But man, I would feel that if they were to start him today, I'd be nervous and just going, okay, you guys just want to see what you got. Now you're going to throw this guy to the proverbial wolves. That's what you're going to do. Is he ready to make the decisions that are necessary to go out and win? Is he ready to go through the progression? Not in garbage time. I mean, from the first snap and moving through the football game, is he ready to do that? And I have to throw trust is a strong word, but I have to throw whatever trust I have into the hands of Kevin Stefanski of it going, you guys got to have the common sense to know that Joe in the future, he's barely the present, and that, yeah, Dillon Gabriel and then you-know-who will get their chance. Shador's you-know-who. I don't want to, because when we say you-know-who, people get confused with number 4. That ain't the guy. Eventually, Dillon Gabriel will get their chance. What I don't like about the answers is that, to me, like Bob Haney and Mo Egger and Chris Mull, they just want to be entertained. Joe Flacco ain't entertaining to them. And I think a lot of the people that were in my mentions on Sunday, and I think a lot of the people probably getting ready to call in to say, yeah, just start Dillon Gabriel now. I think you just want to be entertained instead of actually giving the guy a chance to go out there and play. You just want something different.
But isn't it true,
Joe's
Ken?
old and has no future. You're not entertained by that. Lima's just said the 2 games that they played, even though Owen and I disagreed, the 2 games that they played, Lima's called them both snoozers. I'm willing to bet most of the people listening agree with Anthony on that fact. So they just want to see someone different that's going to get them and stave them off from going out and doing yard work until 145. The problem is you're going to be doing yard work at 145 because he's going to go out there and maybe get his head taken off if he ain't ready to go.
But
and I'm not convinced he's ready to go.
Isn't it true that this always goes quicker than you want to or plan to? And that includes, which includes the head coaches and the organization.
And I'm not. And by the way, what was our original timeline? Everybody said, well, 0-6, 0-6, 0-6, and then you play them in week 7. Well, it's looking like it's going to be sooner than that now, isn't it? So we're already bumping up the timeline, and there is a big, 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 bold line. It's not a fine line. It's a bold line between ready to go and what the hell. What the hell has gotten you? That's where Cody Kessler actually makes an argument. Because Cody Kessler wasn't ready to play. Cody Kessler would probably never be ready to play, but he never got a chance to develop. Deshaun Kaiser was dead in the water the minute they took him because they decided, what the hell? They went out there and played him, and now the guy who was behind all that now works for the Baltimore Ravens. What the hell in just playing guys has got you to the frustration and distrust and anger you have had with this franchise since 1999? That's what gets us to this point of cynicism. Take care of a quarterback. Do the right thing by him instead of operating like a fantasy team. And I'm not really even talking to the fans. I'm talking to the people over there in the building. This isn't fantasy. This is real life. What I say, let me use an example. What I say about the Bears. Like, I got into it with Nathan during the draft. I'm not sure about those offensive linemen. They go, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? They went out and they got they got DJ Moore. They got plenty of guys who are weapons. But usually, as we are seeing now, as our offensive line is looking older and not as good as it was, usually you don't let go of your good offensive linemen, especially when we're at a dearth for quarterback play. And the second most important thing, or one of the most important things, maybe not the second to some people, is offensive line play. Used to be you plug in guys and play them. You can't do that anymore. And so you're holding on to these guys like grim death. So I'll use them as the example for this. I'm not going to just throw them out there. Well, we got to see what we got to see. No, that just means I want to be entertained.
Well, they did, and they
that
did
is
that.
Code language for I want to be entertained.
Look, I do think it's hard because they did that to DTR, And then that was it for DTR. DTR, as a prospect coming out of college, he had all the experience in the world, right? He's actually bigger than Dillon Gabriel. So, there's actually more. And actually, Dillon Gabriel played for much more loaded teams than what DTR did. So you can make the argument DTR did way more with less than even Dillon Gabriel. Prospect-wise, kind of similar, right? Coming out of college, we do think one was overdrafted in Dillon Gabriel. Where was DTR drafted?
Should we...
Fourth round?
Fourth round, yeah.
That's probably where Dillon Gabriel should have been drafted. So we did throw DTR to the Wolves. We saw how that turned out.
Yeah. I don't know if... and by the way, I don't know if any of these guys would have ended up being great quarterbacks anyway. Yeah. More than likely not. But you didn't even give him a chance. Should we just play Dillon? Are we already there? Because we asked the AFC North, and they all said yes. I disagree.